Domestic Girlfriend broke the internet. The only problem was, it wasn't that good. Before we get into this video, guys, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Gorlok and I do anime. First things first, I'd like to thank you guys for the amazing support on the previous videos. I'm having a lot of fun doing these anime reviews, and I just wanted to let you guys know that there is more Gorlok content coming outside of the anime reviews, so look forward to that. Let's get into it. Right off the bat, our main character gets laid. Hell yeah, that's so freaking cool. Except for, you know, he didn't do a good job. And that kind of equates to the entire show moving forward. Now, let's first give some backstory. Let's just back up exactly like how the show did in the first episode. Our main character is a wannabe novelist that goes to high school and has a crush on his teacher. Right off the bat, nothing crazy. This is an anime, and that's what we get to see quite a bit. His teacher has helped him out in a lot of his endeavors in the past, which we don't get to really see. All we really get to see on their past together is one glimpse of a flashback on how they met in the first place. But other than that, we don't know exactly why Natsuo loves her. As he's going through his everyday life, his friends like to hang out with him, so they tell him, let's go on down to the good old karaoke, okay? They're going to a potluck or whatever. I don't exactly know what they say in it, but it was pretty lame. And that's when Natsuo goes out with a bunch of friends, as well as a bunch of girls we don't know of, and we won't know of because the show doesn't delve into it, because they literally are the most side characters of all of them, and they say they have these certain traits, but not really. I'm spending too much time on them, honestly. But we also meet Rui, who is kind of dragged out for the same reason. Now, Rui is a very quiet, kind of off to the side character at first, but then as she goes to get some Bepsies, they call it Bepsies in this. I love it. I love that already. It's just like the meme. Our main character, Natsuo, follows after to get a drink because it's not his type of scene. He talks with her, bonds in a way, and she tells him, hey, let's get the hell out of here. But in a more calm way because, you know, she's a cool character. So that's exactly what they do. They go on a little walk and all that stuff, and then they end up at Rui's house. Now, nobody is home, and it's a prime opportunity for our main character, Natsuo, to score. That being up to Rui, of course, but we don't really know. Natsuo doesn't know. Rui's the only one that really knows what's going down in this situation, and she brings Natsuo to the bedroom to inevitably have sex. That's right, our main character scores in the first episode. Let's fucking go. I'm so excited for this guy. He's got some nuts, doesn't he? No, he does not. He's actually worse than most main characters. Well, actually, no, he is the worst main character I've ever watched in a show because this guy absolutely stinks. Okay, he looks cool, still has that generic anime main character look. Outside of him scoring in the first episode, he ain't got nothing else going for him. And as these two characters kind of departure after this sexual intercourse, Rui tells him next time they see each other, they are strangers, and the only reason she wanted to do it in the first place was for experience points. Good job, Rui. You got those points up there. You leveled up to level 10. And these experience points kind of go a little bit deeper, though. See, the first few episodes of this anime are actually pretty good. And with this situation right here, Rui genuinely just wants to experience it because she's looked down upon by other adults who will inevitably be in the show. Right now, actually. Right now. Hina was the one that told her. You don't know who Hina is, but you will know who she is soon enough. Now, this is all fine and dandy, but now it's kind of bothering our main character, Natsuo, as he goes home and he imagines this random girl in bed. Honestly, this is a pretty realistic thing. I mean, he's going home and he's struggling because he's thinking about the girl that he loves and then the girl that he just pegged. I can't say that. The girl that he just had sex with. So it's kind of just jumbled his mind a little bit. And while all of this is going down, his single dad is talking to another woman, trying to rekindle the flame that he once had in his prime. Now, a few days pass. Natsuo continues to have feelings for his teacher, but is also seeing other things like this girl he had sex with. And then while all of this is going down, the ball is dropped that his father is starting to get remarried. This part kind of got me, all right? I don't know about this, okay? His dad has been talking to this woman, but hasn't brought anything up to Natsuo at all. He hasn't met her or anything. Like, there's no point to that. It's just ridiculous. How could a dad do this? But it's okay, because this is the only asshole-ish thing that the dad actually does, because outside of that, he's a pretty cool guy. He's very nice. He's very chill, so I like him for that one. And as his future mom is coming over, Natsuo scrambles, gets pulled to the front door because they arrive. She opens up the door to Natsuo's surprise because behind her are two lovely ladies, and not one but two of them are involved with his life in some way. One of them being his teacher that he loves. The other one being the girl that he just fucked. Oh boy. I gotta admit, the first episode got me, and going into the second one, I was extremely excited to see where this plot would go. Little did I know it was like putting Jurassic Park 3 into a VCR that is already on fire. Yeah, that means it was bad, but it gets worse. This kind of spawns the meme of the luckiest unlucky character ever, and now we're shot into this story that is very similar to shows like School Days in the way that it just doesn't feel right. We're also borderline on Kiss X Sis and all of that whatnot. Now, throughout most of the show, it's a bunch of random shit. We also see random characters be thrown in for whatever reason. But we also have kind of a vice within Natsuho's best friend, Fumiya. But there's just some things about this show that are kind of off-putting, and I don't get if it's the art, because the art genuinely is fine. There's just some things about the environment around everybody. For one, the new house that this happy family moves into literally looks like the back rooms, with everything being the exact same color, whether it's the ceiling, the walls, even the ground, I don't know. It just looks very weird, like an empty husk of a home, and these characters are just thrown into it because, you know what? Budget. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys about what happens at the end of this show because whatever happens, it is absolutely ridiculous. But throughout the anime, it does show a realistic look into love and how telling your feelings can personally be a challenge. And it's something that I even battle with today. I don't know how to say stuff, guys. I'm just a guy that talks about anime. My mind's jumbled. Now let's get into some of these characters. Right off the bat, Natsuo. Of course, he's gonna slay in the first episode, but from there on out, he is genuinely one of the worst characters ever. Now, you can say he is lying to other characters because he cares about their feelings, but at the end of the day, he is just simply selfish. And that's all I can say about him because first off, selfish. Second off, incest. But it's not really incest though, because it's stepsisters. It's a weird, complicated thing, guys. This isn't Kiss X Sis. We're not going to deal with all of that stuff. He is a horrible character, and the whole plot about him writing a novel kind of goes straight out the window because his best friend Fumiya told him, why don't you just write something new? Which is some good advice, but Natsuo then writes about his current situation, which then turns into a novel that your mom's 60-year-old friend would probably read. I don't care what his intentions are with my daughter, but what he is doing is just blatantly wrong. I'll give Natsuo a hardcore 2. He is shit, dude. He sucks ass. And now we can finally talk about my daughter. That is Rui. She has the typical blue short hair syndrome where she's definitely not going to be the pick at the end of the show. However, she is the most chill, she is the most straightforward, and she is the cutest. Now, at first, obviously, she's a little rude to our main character. That's totally fine because in her mind, she wants to become an adult, and this is just another step to take to get to that point. And then we see her kind of develop and be more soft to our main character, Natsuo, but he completely takes her for granted, and throughout the entire show, she is sadly disrespected. And she even goes on to forgive Natsuo for his lying ways throughout the show. And at the end of the day, Rui is best girl, and other girls might rival her, but you know what? They don't stand a chance, because I'll give her a 7 out of 10. I could give her a 7.5, but you know, this whole show doesn't deserve really anything like that. Now let me get into Hina. Oh my gosh. Natsuo's first and only love, because he doesn't give any time to the secondary characters. His mind is straight up for her the entire time, and he lies to her anyway, so who the frick knows what's going on with this guy's mind. But Hina's an absolute jerk, and we already know that she's cheating on her boyfriend in the first place, and there's a whole little triangle of whatever going on outside in the adult life. She's kind of all over like, I don't want this, I want this. I don't freaking know what she wants, and I don't think Natsuo knows either, and Rui doesn't know shit because she's just off in the side, okay? Hina's just not a good character. She does cute things, but outside of that, she seems like the devil trying to get into young on Natsuo's mind. He just gotta go to Rui, dude. Rui 10 times better, I swear. I'll give Hina a 3. Again, she can be cute at times, but she's an overall just piece of shit. We then meet Momo and Miu, who are absolutely pointless to this story. They're kind of just thrown in because they want to add on to something or show that somebody's got mental problems in some way because she's always left alone, and the only way she can get anybody's attention is by having sex. It's actually genuinely pretty sad, but Natsuo's like, nah, fuck that. I don't want any part of that. I'll eat lunch with you, though. And then he also goes and uses that as an excuse to lie to Rui so he can go and see Hina. Both Momo and Miu get like, I don't know, 4.5, 5. I don't really know them too much. If anything, I'd say Momo deserves more because she's kind of cute, but Miu, not so much. Hell yeah, we're already to Fumiya. Okay. Fumiya, this guy is best boy. I said this long time ago when I first watched the show, and rewatching it again, it just reinforces it for me. This guy is such a good friend to our main character, Natsuo, and he lets him literally just talk about whatever. Even the whole story about him having sexual relations with both of his stepsisters. Whoa, I don't want that coming out of my mouth, but I know that's probably gonna have to quite a few times during this show. Fumiya is a solid character, and I can't go without giving him a 10 out of 10. That's the second time I've given a character a 10 out of 10. This one I mean it genuinely because, oh, he's a good character, guys. He's a good boy. We also meet Alex, who is extremely horny, but he's also American, so he's pretty cool. I'll give him a 7, whatever. Why not? Throw it in there. And the last characters I'm going to talk about are the parents, because genuinely, these guys are great. However, whenever anything goes bad, they go straight to the divorce papers because they think that they're the problem, when actually, yes, they are the problem, but, you know, we don't want to let them know that, okay? They're sweet people. I'm going to give them a 7. No, I'm gonna give them a 6 because they are the main reason to why this story had to be a thing in the first place, okay? We could have just went on with our days and been done with it. Now let's talk about the art. Now, the art, at first I watched it, I thought it was pretty bad, but watching it a second time, I realized I kind of appreciate it a little bit more. The characters are quite adorable and can look derpy at times, but it's not too bad because, I mean, whenever they do look derpy, it instantly goes to a very crisp shot of one of the characters making a pouty face. I freaking love that, dude. Oh my gosh. Rui! Oh! The one problem I did have with the art was the environments around. There's just something about them that kind of gives me a weird feeling. Like I said, the main house that these guys live in feels like the back rooms or a dungeon of some sort with no real personality to it. Like, at least in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, we see a rhetoric around what her house is supposed to look like. But in this show, the rhetoric is straight up clay walls. The ceiling's like it too. It's all the same and it's ugly. It's off-putting. I'll give the art overall, I'll give the art a 7. Yeah, it's just mainly that house that you're in for a lot of the time. It's not that good. Overall, the show left me a little overwhelmed at the end of it and not really happy with what I just witnessed. The first few episodes will pull you in, but after that, it kind of goes down that anime route where it just falls apart and brings in more characters that really don't need to be there in the first place. It was just a show with so much potential and a beautiful start, accompanied by an amazing opening. And then it just goes forward to not really impress you, kind of make you fall asleep, and then at the end, throw a bunch of crazy stuff at you on why a character has to do this, why a character has to be here, and just the coincidences around it. If this show is anything, it is the amount of terrible coincidences that happen to the main character as well as just anybody else involved. I suggest that you guys give this show a chance, but I would not blame you for dropping it around the 5th episode. You gotta get to the 5th episode because, oh my gosh, that suppository scene's ridiculous. Overall, I give the show a 4 out of 10. Outside of the first few episodes, it goes to crap quick. Have you guys watched this anime? Go down below, let me know your thoughts on it, and while you come back up, leave a like, subscribe, and click on the next video for some more Gorlok fun. I'll see you guys next time. Go watch some anime.